Hello everyone and welcome to the Fundstate trading channel. My name is Mikhail. Let me remind you, yes, it will be difficult for me to give a cooler forecast than the forecast from the last video to the broadcast classic from the last forecast. Let me remind you, I gave 50 or 60% with the 10th leverage. This is a five-fold increase. For those who entered from the last video, I recommend holding a position because he's very much entrenched in this instrument and
лонговый тренд намечается. Но перед тем, как дать сегодняшний обзор, я бы хотел поговорить о том, где, собственно, торговать. Мой выбор — это биржа Bybit. На ней максимальная ликвидность, лучшие точки входа из-за того, что просто больше игроков, да, вот этот вечный аукцион, он по лучшим ценам происходит на все коины. А также новым участникам за регистрацию.
There is a bonus from up to $10, yes, filling for 100 and a trading volume for 50 by 500 up to 30,000. If you have a huge deposit of $250,000, the link is at the bottom. Go ahead, register. I highly advise. Bitcoin at the moment shows all the same positive dynamics. We rolled back a little, but the market in general does not react as in the past to this kind of correction. Yes, that is, there is about 15% if you count the stop and the alts did not fall so much. Yes, which says about an increase in the strength of the alt trend. Yes, I specially opened it for you on Coinbase. And why on the coin thing? Because this is an American, specifically an American exchange where trades happen for all these, yes, all these here that I have in my watch list. They were taken from the last video and locally on Bitcoin. There are two formations observed. Yes, there was the first ascending wedge and an expanding one of this sort. And the expanding wedge, which is also short. Yes, all three formations that can be assembled here. Yes, from these trend lines. They are short, but Bitcoin doesn't respond to it like it was supposed to be. Yes, that is the exit from these formations. It's a huge downside. Yes, that is. There's a drop to 35 to 34. Such a reaction is not there, which means that the long centimeter is still in place. They purchase on small volumes. They don't let the instrument's price to fall, which is very good, yes. Even though there's a lot of resentment out there on the internet flaring up, yes, around ETFs. They look at this graph and think, oh, this is it.
Смотрят вот на этот график и думают: ой-ой-ой, ETF как бы убили биткоин. А на самом-то деле ETF открывался под 22, по 24 примерно. То есть клиентам BlackRock, да, вот этот BlackRock iShares Bitcoin Trust, iShares — это дочерняя компания BlackRock. Клиентам BlackRock дали зайти вот по столько-то. И естественно, когда они открыли с гэпом плюс 30 там, процентов, они-то решили распродать, да? Они решили распродать не биткоин, а акции ETF, акции фонда, да?
Naturally, their profit taking, so to speak. Yes, their profit taking will end in the next few days. Normal, adequate dynamics will resume in the next few days. Plus, I want to highlight one more thing. This is the Great Scale Bitcoin Trust, which shows that there's nothing at all to panic about, just a small acceptance of profits by large players who were allowed to enter at a cheap price right away. They got this profit. Yes, of course, if you have significant capital and you open with a gap of plus 30, why wouldn't you fix a small portion? It's also very important that in this particular trust, participants are shifted to the ETF itself. Yes, to the ETF itself from Bitcoin, the ETF itself. Yes, that is, it turns out that the sale of Bitcoin is happening, but can you see the purchase of huge volumes? Yes, the movement is small, but the volumes are huge. Why? Because of the massive purchase of this Bitcoin trust, now an ETF, it's time to change the name, as Bitcoin's dominance has clearly sketched a head and shoulders pattern, and after such a massive pattern, plus the breakdown of the rising trend. there will obviously be a continuation downward, and there is a very slim chance of any comeback. It's going to be very difficult. Yes, and precisely due to technical reasons, it is highly likely that the downtrend will continue. As the descending movement of dominance occurs, it will decrease, at least down to the level of 4,891. Yes, so there's a small caveat here, that in most of the bull markets in the past, the dominance increased significantly. Yes, it surged out of any patterns over there. But here specifically, traders see a clear head and shoulders break already occurred in this upward trend, with a retest even. So it's hard to talk about any possible comeback here. Most likely it is going to fall, which would indicate a rise in altcoin power. Yes. Let's again move on to total 3. Back to ours. The market cap of altcoins is growing. It's most likely gonna break through the 1,000th moving average to increase upward. So now I'll give you a few coins that I have on this sheet. Yes, that you can trade a little more in the medium term. Quantum, this is the largest long zone. Yes, that is the demand zone. They buy out of it very powerfully. Let's see how crazy it is without analytics. Crazy. Let's say a fence, and from the shadows of candles, and clearly all these players, they are not waiting for the quantum to go to 3.8. Yes, they're waiting for the quantum to go to about 4.9 and 10. They're, yes, at more global large levels that I have marked. You can add them yourself and check them on the chart. They are clearly visible. Yes, that is, this is where I have such a funny arrow drawn. Naturally, it means that from this range, we eventually have to use. Here's what I can recommend here. From this range, you can take longs from the lower boundary. It's generally ideal. Yes, if only on January 8th you notice this type of movement, then a break of the levels 3.627, yes, and break of this high. Well, that is
пробой уровней 3.627, да, и пробой вот этого хая, ну, то есть закрепление, да, то есть там пару 4-часовых свеч, которые сильные, зеленые, с высоким объемом, здесь будут.
Here they will talk about a breakout, yes, and after that you can take midterm longs on an ascent up to about 4.9 in general. Yes, 10, this is the maximum quantum. He ever spoke about himself. Yes, that is this narrowing of volatility. It leads to this type of liftoff, as on the Ether Classic. Yes, that is not because they are somehow parallel. Yes, they are not connected in any way. Only their technical picture is connected. Yes? The next token is AVE. I'm not marking it because of some pattern it builds. Yes, generally due to a huge sideways trend that has been operating from May 13th to 22, and it reminds me a lot of a coin named Link. Link, unfortunately, here's the link. The school students didn't catch it, but here is a huge sideways. Yes, a huge sideways was broken from it. The exit was also colossal. Yes, a 100%. Still, this link continues to pump, and even today, yes, let's look at the daily chart, and even today, the link is generally overbought. In general, it's overbought on larger time frames, yeah. On smaller ones, it's still in the overbought zone, yeah. Yeah, you see it in the RSI and other indicators of that type, but it's breaking through these highs, yeah. Not a breakthrough of 16.47, yeah. In a break of 17.3, you can also try to take it because there's also significant trading here since November 10th. Yeah, it beats everyone in turn. There's enough of everyone who wanted to go down, everyone who wanted to. I would say this kind of trading is only 100%. This is not the ceiling because there's a huge amount of money here.
смотрим профиль объема, здесь
Now let's take a look at the volume here is simply colossal, yeah. That is, I have it highlighted with a small number of bars. Well, I think you'll understand, yeah, that here, all this volume is heading upwards. Let's take a look again at Ava, a quite similar situation. Maybe I'll share the link for you to Ava, yeah, and show you just how similar their ideas about them are, right? Ava, let's make a diary entry. Here we have a sideway on Ava. Clean, yes, a clear sideway, Pauline, what we are going to experience. See the similarities? Yes, a very strong resemblance. That is the link. Here, Ava, what happened on the link? This is such a takeoff. Most likely, we will also see something like this kind of firing for a medium term. Yes, I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow. I'm talking about the fact that a powerful impulse will occur because of this, because short players will be covered and long players will add positions. And seeing what's happening on the chart, yes, seeing this kind of situation, this is the main idea, AVA. At 11427 level, you can take a long medium term. And finally, I wanted to give you the juiciest part. It fell dramatically. Forced liquidation of institutions was observed here. Yes, there's a lot about it on Twitter. A lot has been written about it. That is, it fell here, not because it was some sort of scam day coin, yes, or something happened there. Someone went bankrupt, and due to the institutionalists had to sell this coin, according to the declarations market makers, well, they had to do it. What's the idea? The idea is this. Here is a colossal volume, a very, very large volume on large time frames, compared to how it was traded. Yeah, over the past year and a half, this can hint at a very large bottom pattern. Yes, most students have entered this coin from the minimum values, will continue to sit in the medium term, because here, even in the long term, yes, because here, even on the monthly chart, you can see what's possible. There can be a higher approach. Yes, this is already the lowest point for Asians. Well, not just the lowest point, but market conditions hint that the bull market will raise this coin and all other such coins. Zcash is a proven cool project, so we can rely on it. So to speak, when investing our funds, here's a Zcash in breaking this demand zone. 469 for the long term, right with a little shoulder, you understand, on the spot. Just a must-have. Thank you for your attention. All the best.
Спасибо за внимание, всего хорошего.